Tackle the NFL action on FanDuel. Get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Virginia. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This Thanksgiving, Target makes hosting easy with our lowest prices of the season. Like Good and Gather premium turkey for 79 cents a pound and quality green beans for 55 cents. Or classic stovetop stuffing on sale for $1.99 and delicious favorite day apple or pumpkin pie for only $4.49. Plus, get unlimited same-day delivery with a free 14-day trial of Target Circle 360 to make planning even easier. Save more on hosting. Happier holidays from Target. Restrictions apply.
All right, let's get this started. This is going to be one that came up. I didn't know it was going to be a huge case, but it is.
Okay.
But I'm just scratching the surface on it with this episode. Eventually, I may do the whole thing, but probably not. I'm doing this because of the moniker. It's kind of interesting for the killer to have this moniker. And I'll tell you what it is. We are going to France for this one.
Again.
Yeah, weren't we just there?
We were.
But this guy, and don't look it up.
Okay.
Well,
no, we would never.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously take a guess, but it'd be interesting if you can get it right. They call him Le Grêlé.
Le Grêlé?
Yeah, Grele. He's got there's a tilde or whatever you call it on his name too. All right, we're going to start by going to Google Earth. Today, like I said, this is in France, 1986, 116 Rue Petit, or Petit. Is it Petit or Petit? Petite. I think it's Petit.
You can call it whatever you want.
116 Rue Petit.
Doesn't Rue mean street?
And this is in Paris. All right, 116 Rue Petit right here. Huge apartmento building. And I did look it up. This is actually the correct pronunciation of it. I didn't even say that right. Pronunciation? What the fuck is wrong with me, man?
You are struggling.
It's okay.
Everybody cannot do words. How do you say it? Pronunciation? Punctuation.
Oh, punctuation.
God, what is wrong with me, man?
Those are two different words, bro.
Am I stupid?
No, you're not stupid.
Tired.
Some people have different strengths and weaknesses than others.
I am tired, yes, but
that
I feel
is Jen's counselor speaking.
Dude, I am tired, yes, but I feel like even if I'm on fucking crack cocaine and wide awake, I would still get that wrong.
Yeah,
pronunciation. It's just like that dramatically. You know, I've been saying that my entire fucking life.
Dramatically?
No one corrects me on this shit.
Well, you don't like to be corrected. I'll be honest.
Anyway, tonight we're going to May 5th, 1986, 116 Rue Petit. Rue Petit is an apartment complex, as you just saw it. And at that apartment complex, you would go up the elevator, but a Suzanne Bloch calls the apartment because here's how her life is working as a single parent in France. Her daughter, Cecil, 11 years old, would walk to school in the morning from the apartment. So she would get her bag together. She's already got lunch in the fridge, the apple, the peanut butter sandwich, whatever, puts it in her backpack. Mom's already going to work, as a single parent. So 11-year-old Cecil will then throw her backpack on, get in the elevator, go down, say bye to the lobbyist, and then walk out and then walk her way to school. And that's the routine. And that's been the routine. And it's been working good. But at lunchtime, Susan always makes a point to call the apartment because she knows that Cecil goes home for lunch. Like the school is relatively close to the walk. So she just walks back to the apartment, gets lunch or whatever, and then walks back. So now it is a routine that's happened. And she does that every day, 5 days a week. However, there was something that had happened a month prior that has got the mother rather spooked. April 7th, 1 month prior, there was a rape of an 8-year-old girl in a neighboring apartment complex. how that happened is there was a nice man who showed up in the apartment, and he encountered a girl in an elevator, 8-year-old girl. She was going to school. He dragged her to the basement, which I'll show you kind of a video of it. It's they call it a basement, but it's a parking garage under the apartment. And then there's like a little, closet area. He dragged her down there, he raped her, tried to strangle her to death with a cord, thought she was dead. He flees. The girl survived and alerted authorities. 8-year-old girl. And this was right down the street. I guess a lot of the children did this. They walked to they're all living in apartments, and they go down in Paris. They walk to school. You better believe that the mother was really scared about the situation. But what are you going to do? Like that's how it had to be. The mother has to work, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, going back to May 5th, 1986, around lunchtime, Susan calls the apartment and is immediately worried when her daughter isn't picking up the phone. If it wasn't for that terrible event that happened last month, she would be able to breathe. But at this point, she is frantic.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She rushes home. She's trying to call everyone she knows to go to the apartment and find her daughter Cecil. Let me show you her picture if you can describe her. This maybe put some weight to the story. Can you describe this pretty little 11-year-old?
She's sweet little girl. She's hugging a Quinn dog.
A what dog?
Sweet little pup. Yeah, it does look like Quinn.
What's Quinn? Who's Quinn? Oh shit, Jen's dog. Sorry, fuck. Sorry, shit.
Sometimes I literally don't know.
I know
if you're joking or just insensitive.
I thought her name was Maisie for some reason.
That was like the first idea. Okay, that's not where we landed.
I honestly just stopped caring, so it's fine.
Suzanne, the mother, she calls the school, her daughter's school. They said not only is she not there, but she did not show up to school that morning. That is not good news. Suzanne rushes home to see if her daughter's there in the apartment, and her daughter was not in her apartment. So a search... Huh?
I said, uh-oh.
So a search is underway, and eventually the police, remembering what just happened last month, go down to the basement, and in a little closet, they find the deceased child.
No.
11-year-old Cecil, her body was found half naked, placed under a piece of carpet in the basement. She had been raped, strangled, and stabbed in the chest. So... she was strangled so violently, and I'm pulling this from a direct quote from the French site that I pulled this from, quote, so violently that her spine was broken, unquote.
Holy shit.
So, if
what is wrong with people?
If you how your spine connects to your brain. Yeah. So you're strangling someone on the neck. That's most likely where it was broken. I didn't see where it was broken. It just said, quote, the spine was broken.
Wow.
All right. Witnesses, including her half-brother, Luke Richard, he said he saw a man that morning with, quote, acne-scarred face in the building. He said that he had shared an elevator ride with a man who was polite, but, quote, too polite, end quote. He said something to the stepbrother, something like this, quote, have a very, very, very good day, end quote.
Oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So if
you would think that if you're going to do something so heinous, you would not try to have something that would stand out in someone's mind. You know what I mean?
The man was described as scruffy looking and let me show you the composite sketch that was made, and it's remarkably accurate. This is actually the composite sketch.
Oh.
So what do you notice about this sketch here?
He looks young.
Oh, yeah, here.
Young with acne, right?
There you go.
Like a teenager.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the Grêlé killer, which literally translates to pockmarked face killer. Translates literally to pockmarked face killer or crater face. So both of those, I've seen both of those. But so that is the sketch. That is who the stepbrother saw. And you can see down here, the apartment building. You can see it. I mean, this was this is one of France's biggest cases.
Really?
Yeah, and it is recently been solved.
Oh, only recently.
Only recently. So this was in 1986. You can see the basement here. Yeah. So this is where her body was found in this closet right here. That's such a beautiful language, man.
It is. You used to say it was sounded ugly.
Did I? I never said that.
You were like,
no, it sounds like too, look at me, I'm French.
Well, I do think it's a beautiful language.
I live in Rue Petite.
How's that Duolingo going for you?
Oh shit. All right.
We got to start doing, speaking of, I know we were talking about this last week. We got to do those word brain things. Clearly I need them since I can't even remember what we were talking about. Wordle. And what was the other one that you had mentioned, Jen? That was a good one.
I don't know.
Wordle?
I thought there was another one too. Wordle. You guys were talking about a couple games.
No, so we did I think I'm talking about luminosity.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so it's just every day you do, it's like 5. Have you done it, Jen?
At one point I did, yeah.
It's like little games that just make you think. Not like deeply, but it kind of wakes your brain up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's one, for instance, there's like 2 different color leaves. There's like a green leaf and an orange leaf, right? And you use the keypad up, down, all directions. But for the green leaf, there's an arrow on it, and you have to press which way the arrow is pointing. But, the green leaves, they're going to go their own direction. So even if the green leaf is going to the left, the arrow may be pointing down. So you have to hit the down key. So it kind of makes your brain just stay awake for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It kind of just wakes it up a little bit. I think that's what it's good for.
Sorry, didn't mean to sidetrack us.
No. And then, I'm almost 40, getting there, and I'm starting to feel it. My brain
really?
is starting.
What does it feel like?
I mean, I just, like, I noticed a dramatic change. No, I just noticed that, I can't, like, spark up anymore, and I mean, look at me now.
That sounds like a problem for Nicole.
Can't even fucking talk. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that department's pretty much fucking closed.
Stop it.
That's why I was trying to get some tests tomorrow. If I get some tests, I'll be fucking, ejaculating all over this place.
Ew.
Fucking...
Ew.
No one asked about that. That was...
Yep, no one needed to know.
I'll be like 22 again.
Oh, great. That sounds lovely.
Luckily, and I'm saying this now in 2021, I know it's 2024,
I was going to say, yeah, you need some more luminosity, I guess.
Luckily, I mean, this is a horrific event that happened, but luckily, and I know this sounds messed up, but think about it today. It is lucky that he left seminal fluid in this, on the scene, right?
It is lucky, yes.
Because
eventually,
if he did not, exactly, that's the DNA, right? His blood type was A positive. That was the semen found at the crime scene. However, that's all they could know at the time in 1986. They could know the blood type from the semen, which, I mean, I didn't even know you could do that. I mean, I don't know anything about it. DNA testing, especially in France, was pretty much very limited to only blood type. In 1996, 10 years later, the DNA was established through the semen. So that's 1996. However, the way it worked back then is a lot different now, is they have to actually have your DNA
in the system.
Now it's completely different.
Genealogy
and
DNA.
Probably scares a lot of uncles out there. But yeah, so if your family member has a close relation in their DNA, they could get you, type of thing. And that's kind of what we're seeing now. So this case actually was solved in 2021. However, it just showed up on the docket, I guess, from one of our headlines. That's why I'm covering it. Police suspected that this horrific murder of Cecil Bloch was perpetrated by the same criminal who raped and attempted to murder the other girl a month earlier.
Okay.
So not only that girl, her name was Sarah, who was raped, the 8-year-old, she actually identified the same man from the composite sketch who took her and tried to kill her.
Oh, wow.
So she was strangled, but she didn't die, luckily.
Wow.
There's been plenty of books published about this. It's a huge case in France. I didn't know it was that big, honestly. Like, I thought it was just maybe 1 or 2, but there are several murders, at least 6 murders, and even more rapes committed by this guy. So the father, Jean-Pierre Bloch, passed away in 2011 without ever learning the truth about his daughter. The stepbrother, Luc Richard, continued seeking answers, and in September 2021, he got those answers. A killer was identified. So let's go right now to the killer's apartment, because they're going to arrest him, right? In a coastal town apartment in southern France, about 485 miles from Paris on the Mediterranean coast, is where the killer was residing. And on September 29th, 2021, that is when police were going to arrest him. They go into the apartment, and on the kitchen countertop in the apartment was a note. They also found his dead body. On the kitchen hood, there was a note that said, quote, "Suicide, please call 17," which is like 911. On his ID, which is his driver's license, it says, "My name is François Vérove. I have just committed suicide. In case I'm in a coma, do not try to resuscitate me. Thank you." And there was a note written to his family. He was married at the time. And so I'm going to have you read this note.
Okay. Is the killer still a crater face? It's a good question.
Yeah, I'll show you a photo of him here in a second. You read this and I'll look at the photo.
My dear, I'm going to explain to you why I had to leave this world. You met me in 1984 when I was a young policeman. At that time, you had already detected some difficulties that I was trying to hide. I was actually nourishing an uncontrollable rage which made me a criminal. Sometimes I couldn't take it anymore and I had to destroy, tarnish, kill innocent people. Therapy erased my death instinct. When I was killing innocent people, I was actually seeking to destroy my childhood wounds. This recovery was a real relief and a true rebirth, but I couldn't erase the past. More than 30 years after my first crimes, the justice system has caught up with me. In order to avoid a trial that will have consequences for you, I have made the decision to commit suicide. Indeed, French justice system stops prosecution at the death of the criminal. I will never be able to undo the harm I have caused to my family and to the families of the victims. I am not asking for forgiveness because my deeds are unforgivable. I love you more than anything else in this world, and I hate this criminal that I used to be. Wow. You think he really was recovered, or do you think he was just saying that?
Well, DNA, he knew he was about to get caught. Obviously, this is him right here. So I guess no, he didn't have the crater face, He
had a beard to cover it up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that if you had acne scars, don't they just go away after time? I don't know.
If they're really bad, no.
Oh, well, I'm not sure then. That's him. We could see what he looked like in 1986, though, because he looks like an arrest photo or something. But remember, he was a police officer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's what he looked like there. Yeah, dude, that is spot on, is it not? I think.
Honestly, it's not quite
that second one is more spot on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this one?
Yeah.
That one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks obviously much older.
He looks like Professor Doofenshmirtz from that show, Phineas and Ferb. He doesn't actually. He looks like someone else. Don't even listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What show?
Next.
Hey, it smells so good in here.
Yep, that'd be the coffee.
I know. It's just I've had nasal polyps for so long. Now I'm on this medicine and my congestion and breathing are much better.
Dupixent, dupilumab, is an add-on prescription maintenance treatment for uncontrolled chronic rhinosinusitis with nasal polyps in adults and children 12 years and up. It can help shrink your nasal polyps so you can breathe better with less congestion.
I'm pretty jazzed about it. Plus, I don't want another surgery, and now I might not need one.
So, what can I get you?
Oh, medium coffee, please.
Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away if signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection or asthma. Don't change or stop steroid, asthma, or other treatments without talking to your doctor.
Do more with less nasal polyps. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Learn more at Dupixent.com or call 1-844-DUPIXENT.
Tackle the NFL action on FanDuel. Get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Virginia. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, I don't know it.
No, it's a little cartoon.
So that suicide note was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
I said, yeah.
Oh, shit. Another Joseph Angelo. No shit. That's a good point. That's a good point, Lauren. Yeah. So Joseph D'Angelo, he was the Golden State Killer. And it's kind of like the same thing. Like I said, I didn't do the whole story. I stopped with this. Well, actually, I did one more murder right after this, but I stopped because there's plenty of other ones he's committed, And he did stop killing, as he said in his suicide note. According to him, his crimes were caused by, quote, growing impulses that he could not control until the birth of his children. He explains that these impulses completely vanished in 1997 when he went to therapy following a job burnout. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Therapy cured him.
That is interesting.
I mean, nuts, right? On September 29th, 2021, François Vérove's body was found in a rented apartment. He had been living quietly with his wife and children in a residential area of a nearby town, Le Grand Moult, for several years since his retirement from the police. So he rented an apartment to kill himself away from his family. That's what happened. Vérove received a police summons on September 24th, 2021 to provide a DNA sample as part of the reopened investigation into the unsolved murders and rapes committed by the serial killer known as Grêlé. Okay, so I mean, imagine getting that. So a few days before he kills himself, he gets a summons from the police that say, "We need your DNA." Imagine getting that, and you're the killer. I mean, the shit's over.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You done, son.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, I wonder if they were already kind of looking into him. Maybe. Yeah. Because they didn't do that with Joseph D'Angelo. I mean, they knew who he was, and I think I remember they tried to get a DNA sample, and I think they may have done it through his like garbage or something. But what they did in the Joseph D'Angelo case, which was really interesting, because he was an old man. He's like 80 something, right? So the detectives actually scoped out his address, and they had plenty of videos right before they arrested him. I mean, of weeks before they arrested him, of him doing yard work and working out. I mean, he's still like in a great shape, doing all his workouts and stuff. Because what happened when he gets to court? He's all like
pretends that he's an old man. And
exactly,
can't walk.
Exactly, right. So that, which was really smart that they did that, because they're like, this guy ain't like this. Look, this guy's, and then they got him in this cell. I don't know if you remember, he's like doing burpees and shit. Anyway, let's go over one more right quick, if you guys don't mind. One more murder. Is that fine? All right.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at any of these freaking names, but the next one we're talking about is Gilles Politi, 38 years old, an aerial technician who worked at the airport, and his roommate, Irmgard Mueller, 20 years old, a German employed by the Politi family. And this is at the Politi family apartment on the 5th floor, just right down the street. This is April 27th, 1987, so 6 months later, let's say. Witnesses reported seeing an athletic man with pockmarks in his 20s enter Mueller's apartment building, and on the 28th, a day later, the same man was seen communicating with Mueller through her apartment intercom that morning, shortly before she would be murdered. Around 11 a.m., Vérove, as we know now, entered the Politi apartment and attacked both Politi and Mueller. So it's a male and a female that lived in this apartment. Anne-Marie Politi was returning home for work the next day and had discovered this horrific scene. The crime scene, there was no signs of forced entry, indicating that Vérove was voluntarily let in by the victims. In the bedroom, both victims' clothes were found mixed together at the front of the bed. A blood-stained kitchen knife was found stabbed into the fabric of the bedroom bedroom all the way down to the floor. That is believed to be the murder weapon.
Jesus.
A Marlboro cigarette butt was found on the bedroom floor, possibly used to burn the victims because they did have burn marks on them. This is the male, Giles Politi, found dead, stripped completely naked, lying face down on the floor in the bedroom. His arms and legs were bound behind his back in a hog tie position using a ligature. All right. His throat had been cut with a knife while he was hogtied, that is just fucking terrible. I mean, you can't even grab your throat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, imagine that you're tied up and you're just, you can't.
He killed him like an animal.
I know, right? I mean, you can't even, not that it matters, you're going to die anyway, but just this.
To know you can't try to stop it.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's got to be, he had cigarette burns all over his body. Next to him, found dead, suspended by her arms from the frame of the bunk bed in the bedroom, was Irmgard Mueller, the 20-year-old female. Her throat had been so deeply slashed with a knife, and her long hair was covering the wound. It was like inside of it because she had real long hair, and it just kind of went inside of it. She had cigarette burns as well, and a cigarette burn under her left breast. In the words of one responding officer, quote, "It was the most incredible crime scene of my career. The sadistic," I can't say the word in French, scene of the victims' bodies went beyond Vérove's usual MO of attacking a lone young female, and the cigarette burns inflicted indicated that both were tortured before they were killed. I would imagine, so we would never know. He killed himself. We'll never know how he did this, but what I'm thinking, he ambushed the older male, hogtied him, made him watch, tortured both of them at the same time, and then killed him.
So one thing that really sticks out to me is obviously the therapy that, like, quote unquote cured him. And he uncovered in what he said was that he was trying to, like, murder his, like, or whatever he said about his younger self. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what the rules are in France on what you say to a therapist, because I know he may not have implicated that he was going to harm someone, but then it kind of makes it seem like, well, did he talk about what he did, or was he careful about how he said it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into the therapy session, but like I said, this is a case that's like multiple episodes. I just kind of wanted to, I didn't know it was that big, I thought it was just like one maybe, but there's several. That's a really great question though. So
it is a good question.
Vérove, the pockmarked crater face killer, died by suicide via drug overdose. He consumed a lethal combination of alcohol and barbiturates. The Paris prosecutor stated that Vérove, quote, took his own life in the apartment, leaving behind the written statement confessing to being, quote, Le Grêlé. So, and then they did pull his DNA, obviously, off his dead body, and it did match. Quote, DNA tests, which were immediately ordered by the investigating magistrate, established a match between the genetic profile found at the several crime scenes and that of the dead man. So that's all went into that story. Wow. Kind of crazy. So this did happen in 2021. It did just hit the headlines. I don't know if you even remember us talking about it, honestly.
Vaguely, maybe.
But anyway, that is what we have for today.
Do you think he was insulted by his moniker?
That's a really good question. I mean, you see it.
Do you think he's like, matter? God dang. No, but I would be that, like, the sick humor in me wonders, was he pissed that that's what he was remembered for?
That's a really good question. I want to say that is a really good question. If you go to,
I'm just being silly, mostly.
You can see in the paper here,
mostly.
I mean, they're calling, this is a paper from 1986. They're calling him that.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Le Grêlé, right? Kind of crazy. So, I mean, I would imagine if I saw that, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's fucked up type of shit. Yeah. If that was me. I don't know. That's a good point, man. Maybe it accelerated his hate, Maybe. But he's dead, so, that's it. I mean, that was just, I know it's kind of short, but just wanted to skim over it. That's the pockmarked killer.
Thanks for sharing it.
Crater face Le Grêlé. Eventually, I may do the whole story, but I don't know. I'll probably be doing this for the next 20 years at least, honestly. Fucking addicted now. Yeah, that's it. So cool. We'll be back tomorrow. Until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Kind of run this shit.
Tackle the NFL action on FanDuel. Get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Virginia. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.